Well, with all these 2x4s that I cut, trying out my new circular saw, I thought, well, I'll make a 2x4 bench out of it. So let's start on that. I've got them all cut to size, so I'll just start gluing them up now. And repurposing everything. I use these slats that I got from an old box spring. We had an old box spring getting rid of. Figured I can use these boards for part of the bench. I did a dry fit, by the way, before I started gluing up all these pieces. So I made sure that the best part was out. Okay, got one side done, one leg done. So we'll let that dry. Do the other side. For the finish, on at least the end pieces, I'm going to use shellac. Goes on easy. Be a nice contrast when I'm going to do the seat itself. So let's see how that looks. One thing about shellac, what you want to do is stir it, not shake it. Shaking it, you'll get all kinds of bubbles in there. You don't need that. Obviously, it's easy to apply and it's quick drying. You don't have to wait overnight. You can use a regular paintbrush like this or one of those foam brushes. This is what I happen to have, so this is what brush I'm using. Or I should say, this is what my son had available. And the other nice thing about shellac is if I don't like it, I can paint right over it without a problem. Well, there's the first coat. I'll go in, have some lunch, let this dry. We'll put some, and then we'll put a second coat on. Okay, it's been about 42 minutes. Should be dry by now. Oh, wait a minute. Nah, it's dry. And then I took some 220 sandpaper, lightly sand that. Just by definition, 220 will be slightly. Take a tack cloth and watch this come down. Ready for a second coat. And I just wrap my brush up in a piece of plastic wrap here in between coats. You probably all know how to do that. And I won't bore you again with the same thing as last time. So I'll catch you on the third or fourth coat. Well, let's round over the edges now on the 2x that are going to be on the seat. I'll put the last few slabs in here for the top to dry fit it. See how that looks. Well, that's what it looks like so far. I figure out what I'm going to do for the finish. Well, as you can see, after a lengthy, arduous decision on what color to go with, I decided to go with this dark blue. It's because that's the paint my son had here in the garage that he had used, so all right, we'll go with that. Easy decision. And I don't know if it'll make any difference, but when I glue this up to the vertical slats, I think the wood on wood would be a better adhesion for the glue. So I'm leaving this part where it'll match up to the wood slats there so that it'll glue up. At least that's my thoughts. So I'll see you after, let's see, 4 more of these seat slats to go. Oh, forgot one over here. All right, coming along. And by the way, I'm in my paint room. Converted the room into paint now, paint room. And I did that by sweeping the floor, letting all the other sawdust kind of settle. See you in a bit. Well, to protect my bench, I'm putting on spar urethane. And this is my 3rd coat going on now. I put it in a separate cup, some of it, not to contaminate the rest, the can. I'll have a separate video of putting this on beginning to end. And the first 2 coats seem to go on real nice. No bubbles. I didn't get any brush stroke marks in it. And this is semi-gloss, by the way. And I'll put on 4 coats total, minimum. It's going to be 2 hours between coats. Well, there's 1 done, 6 more to go. Well, there it is. 7 of them done. This is the third coat. We'll let this dry for a couple hours, then come back and put the fourth and final coat on. Well, it's time to glue up the horizontal pieces for the seat. For these end pieces, not only am I gluing them, but I'm going to put in these 3-inch deck screws to hold it. Because I figured most of the stress when somebody picks this up or so will be on these first 2 outer slats. So we'll put a deck screw in to hold it. And we'll pre-drill it. And we're going to countersink those screws. And my countersink bits are packed away, so I'm going to use a larger bit, and we'll use that as my countersink. And we'll do that to the other 3 corners. Then we'll come back and fill that in. Well, there you have it. My bench, made out of just scrap 2x4s. And by the way, I finished this top with spar urethane. I made a video on that if you want to see more details on that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next project.